can you save? I have an older blog post from a few years ago, and Jeff has a very recent one. Jeff, somebody calls us up out of the blue and says, I need SQL Server Enterprise Edition. I'm going to do my migration. What do we say nowadays?
Well, you mean if someone's already on standard and they need to upgrade to
Yeah,
enterprise?
or if somebody's on enterprise and they think they need to keep it. Like, do we just take that as blanket truth typically these days?
Yeah, it depends. What do you need to do? I mean, there's a lot of people don't realize that how much you can still do with standard edition. Now, obviously, there's the limitations on 24 cores and 128 gig of memory. And those can be showstoppers, right? You
Sure.
can say, I absolutely need one or both of those for my VMs or my hardware or whatever it is for my SQL Server instances. But with standard edition, and this was the post that I had a conversation with a client who said, well, we've been told we need transparent data encryption. We need our data encrypted at rest. So we have to upgrade, and they're on SQL Server 2016, I believe. And they said, well, we need to upgrade to Enterprise Edition. And I said, well, you could just upgrade to 2019, side-by-side upgrade, not in-place upgrade, and plan for that migration. But then, that's now a feature. All the security features are available in Standard Edition as well. So I think a lot of times people see these bells and whistles. I know there were a lot of bells and whistles that were released in or unlocked, so to speak, in Service Pack 1 of SQL Server 2016. Like partitioning. I was talking about SQL Server auditing is another one that you may find value in them, but a lot of times if you're not using these Enterprise Edition features, you shouldn't have to pay for them.
Fully agree. And there are read-ahead reads, as resource governor, online index builds. Those are necessary things, but a lot of what you can do in standard is what we'll talk next month when we talk about HADR. In fact, I'll make sure I have a blog post that talks about upgrades or HADR with SQL Server Standard. There are many options. If you have one database, you can do an availability group, a Standard Edition. Some people call that a basic AG. I just checked. Alan Hurt is not here, so I'll say basic availability group. There's failover clustering you can do with third-party tools to move data. There's like 3 or 4 different software replication service and move data. So if you just say, oh yeah, but I need high availability, nope, that's not enough. So we don't care which edition of SQL Server our clients buy. We want them to buy the right edition for them. I get frustrated when somebody overspends on licensing because they bought too many cores from not tuning their environment right. They went with standard. They went enterprise instead of standard because they just didn't understand. Or some vendors, oh, you have to be enterprise. And like, why? Well, because we need partitioning or compression. Like, well, I don't know if you've been around for the past 6 years, but actually it's available. So really, as part of your migrations, your migration upgrade, which is again not in place, you should be evaluating if you need to continue being an enterprise edition, or if you need to move to enterprise, like you might think you have to do. You should really check and see if standard is right for you.